Hi, my name is Ron Wills, and this is the Big Idea Podcast, powered by the National Association of Business Owners and Entrepreneurs. This series is all about challenges to growth in the small to mid-sized businesses. Today's guest is John Maroon of Maroon PR. John, welcome, and why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your company?
Ron, thank you. Thanks for having me. As you mentioned, I own Maroon PR. We're a public relations firm in Columbia, Maryland, right between Baltimore and DC, and really work in a variety of industries and offer a myriad services. So, everything from what people would refer to as traditional PR, which is media relations, to owned media, which is social media, content creation, strategy, and then paid media. We help people use their budgets effectively on the advertising side. So really, we call it earned, owned, and paid. And we've been around for 16 years, small firm, 15 full-time employees, about 20 or so active clients, everything from nonprofits to technology to retail to healthcare to sports.
I love that earned, tell me if I get it right, earned, owned, and paid.
Yeah.
I had not heard that expression before, but that absolutely is a perfect way to lay out three different segments of what you do.
Well, thanks. Yeah. And it's really, to be really effective, if you're going to take on and market your company or your organization, you should live in each of those buckets to some extent. And a lot of folks are, hey, we have a small company or a nonprofit, the paid is tough. Well, social media advertising is still incredibly effective and reasonably priced. So to what level you can, operating in each of those buckets, and it will help you be more effective in your overall marketing strategy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, you had mentioned when we first started talking about the podcast and you'd submitted some information to us, your challenge, and this was a great one because I hear this so often amongst my clients, finding effective business development solutions and making the time to pursue new business versus working in the business. And I love that comment. So tell us about the challenge and give us the flavor behind the scenes.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Business development is a never-ending process to me, and it never stops. I always chuckle a little bit when I hear about agencies saying we're not taking on new clients. And God bless you. Clients come and go, and we're fortunate. We've had several for many, many years, but they come, they go, things happen, they have changes in leadership. So the hunt for new business can never end. And, I think there's a different formula to success for different businesses and different business owners, and trying to figure out what works best for you is really key. For me, I tried different groups. I tried bringing in business development people into my company, full-time BD people. None of that was really effective. What I'm finding finally really works is making sure that you empower the people that you have, let go of some of the minutia, elevate those who are really talented. In my case, it's a woman named Jen Renahan, who's our COO. She worked with me for years. I've known her since she was in college, and she's an incredibly smart woman, well-respected by everyone here. By empowering her and making her COO, it freed me up to do what I need to do, and that's basically hunt and gather, make sure that we're generating the revenue needed so people can get raises, stay engaged,
Well,
you pay the bills.
You've got to feed the engine. You got to feed it, and it so often is the case in small, mid-sized businesses that the CEO, the owner, has to be the one that generates the new business. Now, at some point, though, you got to move off of that, and you've got to build up the team. But in the meantime, though, as we're discussing this, I'm thinking, boy, COVID hit you hard. How did you market going into COVID and then coming out of COVID? Because we talked earlier, and you said business is really pretty good right now, so you're seeing more and more opportunities. But what did you do differently?
Well, like a lot of business owners, Ron, we had to make a lot of hard decisions. The early days of COVID were a real blow. We lost clients out of the gate, and as a result, we had to, thin our staff out significantly and become pretty lean for a while. And then, as things rolled back, we were fortunate with the PPP program that helped stabilize things, bring some of our folks back. And we got through it like everybody else. We rolled up our sleeves. We did some of the work that maybe we weren't always accustomed to doing, and we made it through. What we're seeing, and what we kind of saw maybe a little bit earlier, is that, people that value what we do, maybe it's better for them to bring on an agency. There's no overhead. There's no HR issues. They can cut the cord whenever they feel they need to without any problems. And for what you would probably pay a full-time employee, you get a team of 4 or 5 experienced
right. You get
people on your behalf. So we're seeing that as a benefit, I think, as well, because of the COVID effect.
Yeah, I can't imagine like a single individual in a business being able to do the things that you can do with your entire team. It's next to impossible for somebody internally to compete with what you all can do. So, okay, so did you were talking about maybe doing a little bit more advertising coming up. For you, where would you advertise, and then what kind of advertising would you do?
Sure, it's a great question. For us, we're very active on social media. That's part of our business that we do for other clients. So it would be crazy for us not to be active on social media. But in addition, the Baltimore Business Journal, we're closer to Baltimore than we are to DC. And the Baltimore Business Journal is a great tool. We have good relationships there on the editorial side. And we finally said, let's invest there. So we're doing some digital advertising on the BBJ. We'll see how that works out. We're also doing some radio advertising with Odyssey, one of the national stations on their stations in the region, and we'll see how that goes, using some of their talent as endorsers. This is a bigger move for us, Ron. It's pretty aggressive. We'll see if it bears fruit. If it bears fruit, we'll keep it going. If it doesn't, we'll keep trying new ways to expose our company to the masses.
And how much time would you say that of your time that you put in new business development to move your company along?
I would say it's about at least a third, if not a half of my time. I mean, one thing is I enjoy it. My dad was an entrepreneur, 6th grade education, just built businesses, and he was an amazing man. And he just kind of gave us that gene. So I enjoy BD. I like meeting new people and trying to land them as clients. But it's all the other aspects of running the business day to day, making sure your people are happy, making sure that we're on track, we're tracking, making sure that our pipeline's full, all that good stuff. And while still keeping a pulse on the clients themselves, so they know that you're engaged to some level, because when your name's on the door, they expect that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we have come to the end of our podcast. I want to thank you very much, John, for being on today with me. And honestly, best of luck to your company. It sounds like you got an exciting future.
Thank you, Ron. I really appreciate it. Appreciate the opportunity to speak with you.